choreography over crushed cars. Coming up next, it's blowing and injected ballerinas engaging in some slam dancing monster style. This is Trucks and Tractor Power, featuring the superstars of the four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Nationals Monster Truck Challenge. Welcome to Trucks and Tractor Power on the National Network. Today it's the four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Fall Nationals from a very wet and soggy Indiana State Fairgrounds here in Indianapolis. Hi everybody, I'm Gary Lee, and normally it would be a symphony of horsepower, but thanks to Mother Nature, these monsters will be singing in the rain. And here with more in today's competition is Army Armstrong.
Gary, your reference to music is kind of apropos at this time because there's an old saying, if you're going to play the music loud, it's got to be rock and roll, and we've already had the roll portion of that saying. Andy Brass literally rolled Bigfoot just trying to get in the program today here in Indianapolis, Indiana. There's another problem we're having here today. The weather, as you can tell, it is raining. It's raining hard. Any other type of motorsports anywhere in America, they would have called it off by now. But we're here to race monster trucks. That's exactly what you're going to see. That's what you tune in to see. You're going to see it. But instead of rocking and rolling, you may be seeing some slipping and sliding before this day's over. Back to you, Gary.
Army, you alluded to the rollover in qualifying. It's an all-out effort, no sandbagging in qualifying for these monster events. And here's a look at Andy Brass in the new creation of Bob and Marilyn Chandler. Bigfoot 10, he gets in trouble right here, rolls on over. Spectacular rollover, but very, very minor damage.
Well, the rollover was a result of the rear suspension breaking. Now, the rear wheels kind of had a mind of their own. After the first jump, you might be able to see it here, they kind of cocked themselves, see? Well, Andy Brass is trying to steer straight with the front wheels, but the back of the truck has got a mind all its own. They put it back together. They're going to be in competition today. You always got to keep working on any kind of a race truck, don't you?
Well, you're right, Army. The repairs have been made. Bigfoot, the big blue Ford, will be in action as we come back to Indianapolis. Welcome back to the Indiana State Fairgrounds here in Indianapolis, where Ford Trucks present the Penda four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Fall Nationals, a part of the BF Goodrich Performance Series. Gary Lee here in the broadcast booth, and down at the starting line, trying to stay dry, is Army Armstrong.
Gary, we may have just received a break. It has stopped raining. We're just getting ready to go racing. So the drivers have asked the grounds crew to put some sand on the starting line in order to try and dry it out. Now, you got to remember, the far end of the track is damp. The cars are damp. They're going to be jumping over it. So it's going to be to their advantage to clear all the cars. The shutdown area, it's just mud and goo. But we're standing on the starting line right now that they've laid out about 4 inches of sand. I don't think that's going to work. I think the first time one of these behemoth monster trucks drills that four-wheel drive engine on this sand, he's just going to make holes, and everybody behind him is going to have to run in his groove. Let's see what happens. Back to you, Gary.
All right, Army, we'll take a look now at the round one matchups. Equalizer, the fast qualifier, David Morris against Tropical Thunder, and Nightmare, the fifth fastest, against the 11th quickest qualifier, Bigfoot. Of course, he rolled over in qualifying. Snakebite against Nick Rossi's Outlaw, the King Crunch. Scott Stevens against John Moore, No Problem. Overkill against number 10 fast qualifier Gary Porter, the Carolina Crusher, and Gravedigger against Fred Schaefer's Barefoot. As we take a look at Colt Cobra, there he is. That is a Snakebite truck.
We're going to be seeing something today that we haven't paid much attention to in the past. Colt Cobra out of Cobra Creek, Colorado comes up. That is the procedure the drivers go through before they actually go to race. Now, Nick Rossi comes to qualify. He doesn't follow the whole circuit with us, so this is a whole new animal to him. He's been around a long time, but he himself as the owner has not been the driver. He's the driver today also. Both drivers have done what we call a dry hop. They kind of, well, dug their hole in the starting line.
Well, we'll see, of course, as Colt Cobra will take this round as he knocks out Nick Rossi. We'll see how much damage they do to that sand they put in the starting area.
Well, like I'm saying, I'm thinking about 3 trucks into this thing, there's going to be little trenches dug because the cleats of the tire are going to just dig holes. You got to remember, these are 10,000-pound trucks with 1,500 horsepower engines. They'll dig a hole in a hurry.
But watch the replay again. The far lane Colt Cobra in Snakebite. He takes the whole shot right there. He'll take the advantage, the win over Nick Rossi. And right now, the Colt is standing by with Army Armstrong.
Colt, it looks like early in the field is the place to be today.
Yeah, you know, Army, the track's going away for us, you know, but the Ford Brass Eagle Snakebite's going to pull through. We got the Firestones on there. They seem like they're pulling with the track real good. The starting line a little bit sloppy, but we're digging in with the Firestones, and we're going to keep right in with the field the rest of the day.
Colt Cobra walks away with the big thumbs up. He is certainly a factor on the tour this season. And here's the guy who's a real factor. We saw the green frame there of the Gravedigger in the far lane. That is Lyle Hancock. He is a hired gun. Dennis Anderson chose Lyle Hancock to drive an all-new Gravedigger race truck, and he pulls up alongside the Mopower Barefoot of Fred Schaefer.
We told you that there was going to be a ritual before the starting line. Drag racers are familiar with it. They call it burnouts. We're going to call it dry hops here, but every monster truck, like I say, is trying to dig their own hole in order to get by. Dodge near side, Gravedigger far lane.
Whoa, almost too close to call. Who won it, Army?
I don't know, with that shutdown area put on a show all its own. It is slippery down there.
There is the green frame we saw just moments ago of that the race truck, Gravedigger, the latest generation of the Gravedigger truck. And there is the Dodge Barefoot of Fred Schaefer. And we still do not have the official word. Let's take a look from this angle.
Watch the front of each truck. One's up and one's down. Keep an eye on this. Right now, Gravedigger, the nose is up. See, the Dodge is down. Now the Dodge goes up. Gravedigger settles down. They both pull a trigger on the finish line. You call it.
Well, looks like Fred Schaefer may have won it by a foot or two. Now, from that angle, you see that the Gravedigger was not real straight. Now, watch again. Watch this angle here. Watch the Gravedigger in the left lane. He's out of shape right there.
Yeah, but those guys, they live out of shape, it seems like. I still don't know who won the race.
Fred Schaefer has been declared the winner. Fred Schaefer actually won the race, and from that one angle, you can see that Fred was very straight. The Gravedigger was not. We take a look at Nightmare. Kirk Dabney out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, about a 2-hour drive northeast of Indianapolis. And there, after the repairs were made, Bigfoot 10, Andy Brass, Bob and Marilyn Chandler's Behemoth out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Just a moment ago, you talked about the Gravedigger being a race truck. The way you can tell this is the race truck Bigfoot is the yellow and red stripe on the side. All of the Bigfoot trucks have been solid blue. The race trucks have that stripe. Meanwhile, the GMC trying to pull him back in the far lane. No way. Andy Brass has got this one covered, Gary.
Did not need the photo finish there. As Brass takes the victory in Bigfoot 10, as we indicated, he rolled over. We showed you the video earlier in qualifying when he got upside down. Very minor damage was done. The truck was quickly repaired, and you can see that Andy Brass will be a player here this afternoon. One more look now. Andy Brass, the near lane. He gets the good hole shot right here. Kirk Dabney really didn't stand a chance in Nightmare. And the big blue Ford takes the victory. And there is Kirk Dabney climbing out of the Nightmare.
Well, he's doing a good job with the brand new truck.
As Equalizer has defeated Tropical Thunder, Bigfoot takes out Nightmare. So they'll see each other in round 2. Snakebite victorious over Nick Rossi's Outlaw. And no problem with John Moore. Knocks out King Crunch. The Carolina Crusher, Gary Porter, advances over Overkill. And Barefoot Fred Schaefer, as you saw, knocking out the Gravedigger. As some repair work going on in the paddock area, here's Army Armstrong.
Well, Gary, we're into what they call a thrash now. We're between rounds, and Andy Brass and the Bigfoot crew who had so much trouble qualifying. Remember we told you they flipped the truck? They made it through the first round, but it cost them something. They torn something up on the rear end of the truck. They're actually welding it back together right now. We got a guy under the nose of the truck trying to fix something up in the drive compartment, but Andy Brass, the driver, is sitting in the driver's seat, staying cool, thinking about driving that truck in the next round. Back to you, Gary.
Andy might be in the cockpit now, but he does his share of work on Bigfoot, believe me.